I just wanted to show you how to connect the Hexakopter to the laptop so you can configure it using the MKTool. I bought the MK USB and this needs to be assembled. Most of the small pieces are all put together on it, but you do need to put the 10 pins, a couple of 10 pins and a 2-pin connector, and you need to solder that to the board. The kit comes with a mini USB cable and also comes with a ribbon, a 10-wire ribbon, and it plugs. USB plugs into the computer, and the cable plugs directly to the flight control board. Now we can start the software. And once we have that enabled, we can plug in the batteries and all the motors get initialized. Another way to connect it is through a wireless connection, and there's several wireless options. I'm using the WI-232s, and for that you need to put in the jumper, so I'm going to put that on there. Now we have connection going back and forth, and you can see the green light on the radio. There's an identical radio I've got attached to the MK, and that plugs into the same debug port as the ribbon. There's an LED, but you can't see that, and that's underneath. And so now we have connection to the laptop. Alright, so if everything's connected properly, you should end up with green lights here. I've got the green light on the flight control and the BL control. I don't have the USB or Navi control board installed, so they won't show up here at all. The first thing you'll need to do is to set up the mixer if this is your very first time making a connection. And you get at the mixer setup tab by holding down the Alt key and pressing the settings button. And by default you will have the Quadro connections or the Quadro configuration set up. So it's expecting only 4 motors. I've got the Hexa and I've got 6 motors, so it'll be a little bit different. There's a couple of different types of configurations. One's for the Octo, or actually there's 3 for the Octos, 2 for the Hexa, and a couple for the Quad. So I'm just got a default setup. I'm just going to use the Hexa. And then we've got a graphic here showing the 6 motors. Also shows you the direction you're spinning in. The red line here shows the front of the Hexa, and that's pointing to the motor number 1, and it's turning clockwise. Number 2 is counterclockwise, 3 is clockwise, etc. So this kind of gives a balance on the torque. And after you've got that set up, you want to write it to the Hexa. You just push this button and then you can hear it get initialized on the board. There we go. That makes shows us that we've made a write update to the Hexa board itself. We can go into the settings tab area, and we've got a number of areas where we can configure camera output, the coupling, etc. So what we want to do to begin with is to look at the channels. Now I've got the Aurora 9 hooked up, and this is what I'm using for controlling the copter. Right here is the throttle, and I've got that on channel 3, and you can see the channel 3 going up and down as I push the throttle up. That's full throttle, and this is no throttle. And if I move it left to right, it's using a different channel, channel 4, and this is the yaw. On the right hand side here, this stick here is the NIC, channel 2, and the roll is channel 1. Now on this side, on the right hand side, if I let go, it's going to want to go to the center, and if I do it from left to right on the left hand side, it's going to want to go to center. The one difference is the throttle stays where you put it, so that's a little bit different. And I've also got a couple other things, other switches set up. So what I've done is I've set this one up here and that's channel 8. Let me see if I go all the way down or all the way up. And this is for altitude control. This little one I have in front of it is a 3-position switch. So I have it back all the way. That is the free flight. So I'm in full control of everything. If I go into the middle one, you can see channel 7. It goes up halfway. And so what that shows is indicates to the board is that is position hold. So when GPS is enabled, the copter will hold its position. And so that I can actually, there's a combination. I've got these separate because I like to be able to have position hold and still be able to go up and down using the gas. And if I want to use if I want to hold the altitude, I can set that switch separately. I know a lot of people have it there set up, so the altitude control is also on the same switch. So if I switch to position hold, or the last one is actually the third position is come home, and that should have the copter come home. So you can see that again is the 3-position switch is on number 7. And this one here is position number 6. This is one I have for free flight, or carefree rather. And I think those are the important, interesting ones. Oh, I do have this one here. This is for channel 5. I've got it dialed up. So this is the NIC for the camera. So when I have the camera hanging underneath the copter, the NIC control will go up and down. Okay, and let's take a look at the camera. And I've got the camera right now on PODI 1. So we'll take a look at the camera setup, and I've got the servo control for the up-down motion, the NIC motion of the camera to PODI 1. Now this is a little bit confusing. So I've got PODI 1, and the mapping goes to the channels. So in channels I have PODI 1 to channel 5. And I have channel 5 is the slider switch here, the one at the side. So again, channel 5 is mapped to PODI 1, and PODI 1 is mapped to the camera. That's for the NIC.